Yes, how's it going? Today, this is Hero. Ajibala Kemcho, Aj Subcase Ho. For those of you guys who are like original subscribers from like over a year ago, you could recognize the background. This background is like the original steady background for when I started transit videos. So it holds a special, spot in my heart. But anyways, time to move on with the video. So to kick things off, because I'm going to make a few videos here in a row before I switch settings, is Venus's exalted transit in the sign of Pisces, okay? Now, this transit occurs between like February 15th to 16th-ish, depending on where you are in the world, to about March 12th, okay? Now, you may notice Venus is with Pisces in this transit, right? So you could jump to, oh my God, amazing things are going to happen. Well, I would caution you to say, hey, not so fast, right? And I'm going to explain why in a second. First of all, this is Venus's exalted transit. So I'm going to focus more on Venus, right? Because this is a Venus video. So this is Venus's exalted transit. So you can watch my exaltation video for more information. But basically, exaltation is not necessarily the best material placement for the planet. It is the planet's direct best spiritual placement, okay? So just make sure you understand that. It does not mean that this is going to be the best material results for Venus, okay? Secondly, you got to understand the flow, okay? So right now, okay, let me say this. As soon as Mars went direct, and why do I say Mars? Because Mars is in Taurus, and it was pretty important when it was retrograde, okay? When Mars was retrograde, it's like a big thing, because it only goes retrograde like once every 2 years. When Mars went retrograde in Venus's sign of Taurus, after the retrograde, you could have noticed with things related to Venus, it was a little bit like stagnant, or like things that usually provide you comfort and satisfaction were not providing the same comfort and satisfaction as they usually do, right? And a part of that was because Venus was in Capricorn and now Aquarius, right? Which are both Saturn signs, and Saturn happens to be right at the beginning of Aquarius. It's throwing its energies onto its own two signs very strong, okay? This is important. Why? Well, we know, and I explained more of this in my All Signs Made Simple video, that the last 4 signs of the zodiac, okay, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, are all ruled by Saturn and Jupiter, okay? This is a very, very, very important spiritual spot of the zodiac, right? This is like the end before the cycle starts again, right? And these planets like Mercury, Sun, Venus, obviously the quicker moving planets are doing this more frequently than the slower moving ones, but all the planets are circulating throughout all the signs and continuing to, I guess you can say, grow and mature throughout each cycle. Venus is no different, right? So Venus, let's just say when it was in Capricorn, when Mars ended this retrograde, so Mars very stagnant in its opposite sign. I discussed opposite sign in the same exaltation sign video. But Mars is in its opposite sign, okay, of Taurus, which about stability. Mars is a very explosive thing. So you could have felt a little bit stagnant. Now Venus is in Capricorn, right? It was, excuse me. So it's all about discipline, right? Now, to make long story short, but this is important from a spiritual perspective, which is the only reason why I'm going on about this. There's a bigger picture here, is that, and I'm trying to give you information that like you, not just nonsense, generic things that you can find everywhere else, right? Because then you can just watch those guys. But so Venus was in its Capricorn. Capricorn is all about discipline, right? But it's more about discipline of things that you're already kind of doing. Okay. Now, when it's in Aquarius like it is now, it's more about expansion, right? Like doing things, especially because I'm making this very, very simple and generic, but it's more about doing things, expansion. Aquarius is the 11th sign, and the 11th house is the house of gains, and Aquarius has Rahu's nakshatra. But it's more about doing things that, because Saturn's there also, that fulfill some kind of purpose or long-term agenda, okay? So it was in Capricorn, right? Honing down on the things that you're already doing. Then Aquarius, adding new things to do, hopefully that are the best. And then Pisces is letting go of energies from that cycle that you need to let go of, okay? And Jupiter's there too, so it'll give you a little bit of wisdom. Let me give you a quick example. And this may or may not be a personal example from now or the past. Let's just say Capricorn is all about discipline, right? Which I just explained to you. So let's just say, you know, your diet when it comes to your workout routine is like absolutely sharp, okay? It's really disciplined. Now, when it's in Aquarius, you realize, okay, long-term karmically, you know, maybe it's a good idea to, you know, as cardio, play basketball, okay, like that. Okay, play basketball and, yeah, let's just leave it at that for right now, right? Play basketball, okay? It's a great source of cardio, social interaction, whatever, right? Then in Pisces, this could be, and this is why I you know, really want to emphasize that Pisces is Venus's exaltation sign, not its own sign, right? It's the best for it spiritually. Pisces here could mean that, okay, yeah, sure, you just started playing basketball. It's right after Aquarius, right? So let's just say in Aquarius you started playing basketball. Pisces could be like, okay, what should really we let go of to enhance enjoyment? So let's just say one thing could be, hey, we need to let go of, you know, the energies of like, you know, showing off or trying to, you know, make everyone think that we're the best or something like that. Or, you know, just trying to like always like show off and like, you know, these kind of energies, right? We need to let go. When we're doing these things, we need to let go of certain energies in regards to these activities that we may have just started to better assist us on the next cycle, right? So it's like we just added something and now we're getting rid of the garbage, right? I don't know if for those of you guys who are not Indian, but you've heard of this food or this item called ghee, right? Ghee is clarified butter. So it's like you take the butter, the good stuff, which is like that's like the Aquarius, and then you filter the butter. So that's kind of like the Pisces. You're getting rid of all the bad fat. That's kind of like what Pisces is here for Venus, right? And because Jupiter's here, Jupiter is kind of like, hey, this is the bad fat. Like when applied to Venus, this is like, this is the stuff you need to really stop right now. Like it's making it really, really, really crystal clear, which is great. Okay, so this is a great, and Saturn's already in Aquarius. So it's like really, really good to like utilize these energies, okay? Now, I don't want to make this video too long, but I do, before I can end this, I do need to discuss that you have two malefics in Venus's signs, okay? You have Libra, which has Ketu, and you have Taurus, which has Mars, okay? And Mars is slow moving. I'll discuss that in a second. Now, what this means, okay, like I said, you got to look at the whole picture, okay? I'm always a whole picture kind of guy, not just, oh, because when you pick and choose, not only is it not that resourceful, but basically you end up just kind of biasing you towards the good and then like providing stronger value towards that, and it just ends up in a mental disaster when sometimes it could. So I would encourage you guys to look at the big picture and kind of just see, you know, help you in the long run decode certain things, you know, with charts and things like that. But anyways, Ketu's in Libra, right? So, and Mars is in Taurus. So Mars is in its opposite sign. Let's just start with that, okay? Mars is a very explosive planet. It likes new stuff, intuitive stuff, whatever, right? It owns Aries and Scorpio. Now it's in the sign of stability, Taurus. So you could feel that, like a little bit stuck there, which you kind of already feel. And then Ketu's in Libra. So your main social interactions are ideally like has a little bit more of a karmic twist in them. So this is good because when Venus is in Pisces, see, there's always a good and a bad way to look at it. I'm just going to give you the good and the bad too, but the good first right now. So how you can use this to say, hey, look, we realize the frustration that Mars is throwing us. We realize the karmic effect that Ketu is throwing us, right? Like we're not always going to have, you know, certain interactions that we want to have, okay? We're not going to have certain enjoyments that we want to have. So whatever garbage we need to cut out, let's just cut it out. You know, Jupiter's here letting us know what we need to cut out. We're not finding any short-term satisfaction with them, so it's just easier to just toss them right now, right? That's the best thing we can do. Now, the bad way you can use this is you can use these two to kind of negate Jupiter's effect, right? So you could use these malefic energies to chase more, right? Because you can't not control yourself, but you can't overcome those challenges. And then Jupiter kind of almost becomes a waste. You don't want to do that. You want to go towards the first one, okay? This video just passed 10 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up. Hopefully you guys learned from this video. If you have any questions or comments, you can always feel free as usual to let me know. And until next time, I'll talk to everyone later. Thank you guys very, very, very much for watching.